Harry here. Just the other day, I took the opportunity to upgrade Cubase from Cubase Elements to Cubase Pro. It ended up being a far more difficult exercise than I first envisaged, and partly that was because I didn't realise from the outset that once you get up to that, well, the top upper range of the Cubase products, which is Cubase Pro 11, you can't operate it unless you have what they call a USB-E license. Whereas with the lower categories of Cubase, such as AI and Elements, which is the last one I had or was using, you don't need the USB-E license at all. And it occurred to me, there could be other people that get stuck doing this. Maybe this will help them. So both Will and I, Will's my musician friend from Melbourne, and we bought Cubase around a year ago, and have sort of gone through the journey together, upgrading, learning how to use it. So we noticed recently, upon opening up Cubase, that there was a 40% discount on upgrading to Pro. So I thought, okay, let's bite the bullet, let's go for it. And we both got stuck not being able to activate Cubase Pro, and we've worked out, okay, we're missing this USB-E license. So let me go through the various steps. As I said, this might help someone else who's got stuck the same as me, who didn't know you need the USB license, E-license. You'll recognise, I'll assume you've done all the usual things. You've paid for it, and you got your receipt and your initial access code. And I mean, what you're looking at there is all the stuff you'll download once you've received your access code. It's easy to forget that that's the access code to download the software. You still need an activation code to actually use the software. And to activate Pro, you need this thing, the Steinberg USB-E licenser. So it's a proprietary bit of kit there. I bought this this morning from my local music store, Better Music, here in the Woden Valley. And yeah, that's the price in Australian dollars. And what we're looking there are some desktop icons of two applications you should already have on your desktop. The Steinberg downloader, you already would have had that installed if you got to the stage of downloading all the Cubase Elements, bits and pieces. And the thing above there is the E-licenser control, which once again you would have used this if you've already used either Cubase AI or Cubase Elements. Now, so the important thing is you've bought your USB key there. Make sure you've got that plugged in to a USB port, and then run E-licenser, or the E-licenser controller, I think it's called, and you'll initially get this window that asks you whether you want to do some performance tasks. So do that, and so you'll once you say okay to that, you'll get this next window where it's starting to do the various steps of performance tasks. In fact, these first couple of steps appear to be the longest, and it just quickly zips through the other steps, and you'll get a window saying that that's all done. Now the next thing you'll see, I'll put this up, you'll now notice that there's a picture of a USB that wasn't there before. So that performance task has recognised that, okay, you now do own the Steinberg USB-E licenser, recognises it, so it sticks an icon in there. And your very first step, see on the right hand side, they're all the licenses I currently own. Your very first step is to dump whatever you want to use on the USB e-licenser. You just need to grab them and drag them across from the right to the left and dump them on the USB icon, and that effectively turns those licenses from what they call soft e-licenses to USB e-licenses. So once you achieve that, you'll get this other message saying license transfer successful. So now you are ready to activate the code. Now you will have, so if we look here, you see this box with these zillion digits. That's your activation code. You'll have that. You would have received that somewhere, and it's always, you can always dig it out if you didn't copy it down. It's always available to you from the Steinberg store. When I showed that window of all the various items you'd downloaded as part of Cubase Pro, at the very top of that there's something you can click to get your activation code. It's always there. So it uses your access code to give you your activation code. So you've got this massive activation code, you put that all in there. Make sure you distinguish between the letter O and zeros, okay? So the letter O are fat and your zeros are thin. I think it makes a distinction. They're definitely different. So make sure you distinguish there. As soon as you plug that in correctly, it'll recognise what that license is, and it'll write it in that white box below. And then you will get this message here telling you the upgrade has been successful. So in other words, when you now look at your e-licenses, you will see it's changed from Cubase Elements to Cubase Pro. So I've already checked it. As usual, whenever you've done an upgrade, it takes a bit longer for it to open up, a few minutes extra. So that's your initializing sort of setup that goes on. You'll then get this box asking whether you want to register. I mean, I always do it, so I've done it. It will record in your Steinberg account. By the way, make sure you know your Steinberg account details before you do all this, because you will occasionally have to log into your Steinberg account, certainly at the very start of the process and at this stage as well. And it automatically keeps a record of your number associated with your USB e-license. So we've opened it up. There's your hub, and Cubase Pro appears to be working. And then I opened up the most recent song I've done, or music I did for a recent video, the Cat Scratch Fever there. Here's one other word of warning. The very top of the screen will tell you that you're using Cubase Elements, and that's because it was last saved in Cubase Elements. As soon as you do a save, it will change the words from Elements to Pro, and then you'll know, okay, I'm now using Pro. That's just a little thing that will always happens in these upgrades. That it doesn't recognise Cubase Pro. The actual song you're using doesn't recognise Cubase Pro until you do your first save with it, or save as, or whatever the case might be. Well, that's it. I hope that you find that useful. I certainly had to struggle a little bit to work out what the hell was going on. And as I said, there might be others who are going through this process, and I really couldn't find a lot of info on it at all. And eventually I stumbled across some helpful people on the forum, the Steinberg forum, but that wasn't easy either. But that sent me in the right direction, and then once I realised that my local music store actually sold these, I sort of was able to start piecing it together and think, okay, well, this is how it all works. So I hope that's useful. See you next time.